if I said, okay, Lily is wanting to know how she can give more of this to herself as an experience, given what she's experiencing with her hand. If I come to your head and neck and all of that, I don't think that it's going to answer the question completely. I'm going to do it in a moment. My preference would be to work with the hand, so that you actually follow through with the hand, because the hand is going to become your reference point for the inhibitive moment. Remember, when I came back from working with who became the Olympic rowing team, walked in the hospital and saw Frank Jones feeling his lapel. And then he saw me and broke into a smile. But I wasn't interested in that. I said, what are you doing with your hand? I need a reference point for inhibition. I need to engage in some kind of activity that allows me to experience my habituation. I need to become aware of what I am doing and decide whether or not I want to continue to do it in the way that I'm doing it, or do I want to sense a change? That becomes my reference point for inhibition, my reference point for withholding definition. I shake your hand, I put my hand on your hand, and I want to give you a relatively sensitive experience of what's possible for you. I can do it just with my hand. I can also come to my own head and neck and let my neck be free to lengthen, etc., and go through those directions, and it would translate through my hand. But the hand is always busy. And I know somebody could say, well, your mind is always busy. That's true too. But your hands are largely utilitarian. Mm-hmm. You know, when we went up, when I had a problem that, you know, with computers, and when I do, I come to you, and she suddenly appears like a genie. I just rub a little bottle and she appears. We go upstairs and we work on the computer. It's all here. She's got it in here to teach me, so I have it in here, but we're doing it with our hands. Mm-hmm. And somebody, well, you're doing it with your mind. Yes, you are. You're doing it. We could both have said, okay, before I teach you, before she teaches me how to do what we just did, we'll both give directions. Mm-hmm. We could have done that. Mm-hmm. And a staunch Alexander mind probably would have done that. Or we could have started doing it, and I would have realized that I'm going like that. And I'm listening to her from here. Will I learn better if I listen from here? I don't know. I probably will hear a little bit more, and it probably will go a little bit deeper, because I will be using myself in accord with the way I'm designed to process information. Mm-hmm. That is the truth. That is the truth. When you use yourself in an integrative way, you are more closely aligned with the way you are designed to take in information to keep you safe, to keep you alert, to keep you alive, to keep you engaged, socially engaged, as they say in polyvagal theory. But if you have had a past pattern of reactive behavior and you've been bullied or something like that growing up, it's in your system. And it means it will color all the experiences that you have as you grow up. It's in your system.